Hey everybody, Professor Matt, Balance Jiu Jitsu. I'm here today with Coach Marcia, and we're going to be going over all the different ways that you can escape the mount. We'll be looking at all different kinds of escapes, from trap and rolls to frame and lever escapes. We will also be looking at how to escape the technical mount. We will be connecting all the escapes to either a guard, a pass, a back take, or a submission. If you have a hard time escaping the mount, you should watch this video. If you train Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, you should watch this video, or if you're just into grappling overall. If you're new here, my family and I like to produce videos about Jiu Jitsu and yoga that connects to Jiu Jitsu. So please take the time to subscribe, like the video, watch it to the end, and share it with a friend, or possibly a training partner who you know has a hard time escaping the mount. Escaping the mount can be really difficult. You have to combine techniques and you have to stay busy in order to be successful. So let's take a look at some individual techniques, starting with trap and rolls and different variations of them. Trap and rolls can be easy to pull off on people who don't know what to do, but they can be really hard to pull off on more experienced grapplers. What I find is good about them is that we can get our opponent worried about their upper body, and when they block them, we can start to look to attack our escape by framing on the hips, pushing at the knees so that we can get a leg out and achieve a half guard. Let's take a closer look at the details to the trap and roll. When my opponent is sitting up, I like to give them a little push to get their hands back on the floor. I look to trap one arm and the leg on the same side. I'm going to bridge and roll her over, landing in her guard, and I like to keep my head down to avoid having my posture broken. Here's a look at the same technique without the gi on. In the next variation, we're going to be looking at the same concepts of trapping an arm and a leg on the same side, only this time we'll be pushing her hand to her hip. You may also have to deal with untangling grapevine hooks, as well as people crossing their feet before you get a leg trap. Once you get the legs untangled, we're going to trap the foot on the same side, bring our foot in the middle, bridge and roll, and then we're going to look to pass. In this variation, Marcia is going to try and choke. I'm going to take advantage of both of her hands being tied up here so that I can complete the trap and roll. I just have to be aware that she can still get the choke, so I'm going to look to bring my hands inside to remove her grips and get ready to open the guard. Let's move into knee, elbow, frame, and lever escapes. These are what I would connect to my trap and roll attempts. I find them much more high percentage, and I find they leave us in a much better position to attack either from our guard, a pass, a back take, or a submission. So let's look at the knee elbow escape. It's important to keep our opponent down on our hips, so we want to make our frame. This is the right way to make your frame. This is the wrong way to make your frame. There's the right way again. I'm going to tuck my elbow in, bridge, and make a frame on the inside of her knee so I can escape my leg. I'm going to hip escape, and then when I turn, I'm going to watch out for this cross face. If I block the hip, she's going to totally smash me. Just like that. So don't worry about framing on the hip. Worry about framing on the cross face, like that. Another important thing to consider when we're trying to achieve a frame or a knee elbow escape is keeping our elbow connected to the far side hip. We want to make sure they can't slide up like that. So see how I can keep her down on my hip while I try to escape? If you miss that detail, you could wind up having your arms or your back attack. Having that frame set up properly is also what helped me achieve this single leg X attack, which in this case turned into a sweep and then into a pass. I could also use it to help myself get into the butterfly guard position, as we can see right here. The next technique is the lever escape. This can be hard to do if they're keeping their feet really dead, but what I want to do here is I want to see if I can't trap one of her feet. If I have a hard time pulling it up like that, I'm going to reach in under her foot, lift it over, and clamp. Then I'm going to bring my knee up for a fulcrum so I can get my hips out. Watch out for that cross face and recover your guard. Another option you would have off the lever escape would be to attack the back. I'm not going to go into details about that because it's about escaping the mount. So let's take a look at the technical mount. It's likely that your opponent will move to this position when you're trying to escape the mount. What we're looking to do here is when they pop up, we're going to hold the knee at 90 degrees, and then I want to invert to bring my hips out and recover my guard. If I can get her knee past 90 degrees, then I can hip shovel and move into a pass. So when she pops up, if I can get that knee past 90 degrees, I can use my hips to access the end of that lever and then start to look to come up and move into a stack pass. Here I'm using the same escape, but I'm just going to come back to full guard. Another option you would have would be to move back to single leg X. This time when she gets up, I'm going to get her hands on the floor and I'm going to move myself into a leg entanglement. When I'm not able to frame the knee out, I'm going to look to get my arms in under and recover my guard. When I make my move to go under the leg, I got to go two hands at the same time, and I can't be shallow here. So I trace the leg, I keep my knee to her hip to keep her weight forward, and as she swings her leg over, I'm going to trace it and recover my guard. A variation I like to do in the gi is when I get the leg over my head, I like to grab behind the pants. That way I can move myself into the baby bolo and achieve the back position. As I said before, the best way to achieve a mount escape is by comboing them together and staying busy. So here we've put together some sequences of some combinations of mount escapes so you can see how our theory works out. This concludes our practical, effective guide to escaping the mount. We hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. Remember to share the technique and leave a comment because it helps us come up with material for you. These videos are hard to make and we appreciate that you stayed all the way to the end. Thanks so much for watching. Now go train and train hard, my friends.